Afternoon, everybody. Welcome. We still don't have the radio mic. Still not working. I couldn't find a software update, so I don't know what's going on here. Yeah, might have to uninstall and reinstall the camera, maybe. I don't know. But there we are. We have got microphone here. That's the main thing, isn't it? Have we got the main camera? Yes, we have got the main camera. That's good for that. At least some things are working. How are we all doing? How are we all doing? It's a rather windy and overcast bank holiday Sunday in the UK. Yeah, very windy actually. And we got the minis due through any time soon. So those of you that watch the channel over the years, it seems that always on a Sunday we get the crazy minis come through every Sunday on the bank holiday in August. I've videoed them a couple times. I was thinking of trying to live stream them, but in order to do that I'd need to take my phone outside and abandon this stream, which is not a good idea really, is it? I don't know if I'd be able to simultaneously live stream twice on YouTube at the same time. I don't know, but not something that we'll mess about with anyway today. I think Mrs. Cruncher's going to go down and cheer them on. To say, I've even got a radio mic that I can take out with me, so it's a bit of a poor show, isn't it, eh? Anyway, Ganesh is in first. Hi, Ganesh. And then Tim's in. John Turner's in. Hi, John. And Aaron. Sunny but windy. Well, we've obviously given you our sun, Aaron, because it's miserable here now. Afternoon, Joe, or morning to you. Ben's up. Hi, Ben. Pouring and blowing a hoolie. Nothing new for Scotland. Scotland is renowned for blowing a hoolie. Hoolie. Bob Anderson, hi Bob. Sonys and Spectrums are fine, but you're old school. Looking forward to this one. Yeah, it's one of those things. I do deviate from time to time, don't I? But this is my sort of bread and butter. This is what I enjoy doing the most, is repairing and restoring old radios. So we're back. We are back to old school radios, and this one is 1965. So I'm 1 year older than it. I was 1 year old when this one came out, and it literally is. It's got a date stamp inside. So those of you that are on Patreon and channel membership would have seen some pictures I put out this morning. Some close-ups of this radio. So it's got a date stamp of it. I think is it the 5th of December 1965, something like that. So I was actually 1 year and 1 month old. FM, afternoon to you, FM. From a sunny Berlin. Very nice too. Michael Hyde, hi Michael. And Nick's in, hi Nick. You've had enough of your workshop for today. I did see one of your videos popped up, Nick. I think it was yesterday. Chris is in. Chris Milky. Hi, Chris. Tim's having lunch. Tom and Susie are in. Hope Susie's okay, Tom. Rob Tiveridge. Hi, Rob. I know, he's done a bit of a jump then. Phil Taylor. How you doing, Phil? Mick McGinn. Hi, Mick. Benji's in. Mac Vision. Sandra's in. Yeah, so we got in. Yeah, we're okay, Aaron, thanks. Minis, yeah, Coopers, Mini Coopers, every type of Mini you could ever think of, Joe. There literally is hundreds of things coming through. You may well hear them on the microphone. They will come through blowing their horns and all sorts. I reckoned it would be somewhere around about 2 to quarter past, so it might be any time soon. Hi Multi. Mike Cass, hi Mike. You plan to upgrade your membership? Thank you, Aaron. What are you at the moment? Oh, you're a Murphy at the moment, aren't you? But I think the actual symbols are for length of membership rather than your membership level. But Any upgrades or memberships are greatly appreciated. Thank you very much. Theo's in. Afternoon to you, Theo. So, we've got this radio in now. I've had this radio for some time. I don't think I may have shown it on the channel before, but we've certainly never tried to get it working or done anything to it. It's a bit of a strange one. It's got issues. The first issue is you can't smell it. If we had smell-o-vision, you'd know, and it's a hell of a lot better than it was. But you can see it's got a yellowy tinge to it. I mean, it is gold anyway, but everything's sort of sticky. It was. It's better. I've given it another wipe over today. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, it's nasty. I don't know which way it's on or off, or whether that's on or off. I think that's the off switch. We've got a button missing, which is a real shame. So if anybody's got one of these knocking about, or something similar that's got these like piano key buttons on them. The other thing is I've cleaned it so much that all the writings come off of the buttons as well. Let's get it out of the light. So you can see there that we've just got like silver tops. We've got one button missing, but there should be like a black transfer over that with, I think it's long wave, medium wave, no, short wave, long wave, medium wave. That should be Luxembourg, and that one should be off. So this button here is a Radio Luxembourg button, because it has got on the front, it's got a big Luxembourg right across the middle there. So it's like a band spread thing. So it jumps it to Luxembourg. Quite an expensive radio probably in its day. Now I can't find, well, I have found a service manual for it. And those of you that are members and Patreons would have seen that it has got the dreaded, it's got an AF115 and an AF117 so far that I can see. To my knowledge, I've never powered this up. Literally, I think I got it from a car boot sale and put it in a carrier bag and hid it away. Like occasionally I'd get it out and give it another wipe over. But every time you wipe it, the cloth comes up yellow. It's literally, I mean, I might have to try John's panel wipe. I've not done any of that on it before. I think does that say it gets rid of nicotine? Yeah, removes stubborn nicotine. So I've not tried this on it because I've had, this radio predates me getting this. So it might be worth giving it a squirt with that and see what happens. Let's do that. Should we do that on the back a minute, just to see? See if it does bring anything up. There we go. Yeah, live foaming action. Foaming action. We'll sit it that way to let it ferment. See if it brings anything off. Bear in mind, I've cleaned this dozens and dozens of times. So in theory, it shouldn't get anything else off, should it? We'll give it a little bit of an agitation with the old toothbrush. Mrs. Cruncher's toothbrush. See if the old panel wipe will get anything more off of it. Certainly makes it smell nicer. So I've got a bit of white cloth here. So I've got a bit of white cloth. So let's just wipe it over with that and see if we got any more yellow coming off of it. I did actually go over this with some wet wipes this morning as well. Yeah, can you see that? I mean, it does look wet, but it's yellow, so that stuff is still getting it off. It's still coming off. still coming off. But I mean, it will all come off eventually. I've just got to persist with it and do it properly. I've only been sort of giving it. I mean, it does look nice and clean now, doesn't it? I must admit. There you are. Hi, Derek. How are you? Yeah, that is pretty. You can't really see it, but it's yellow. So lots more spraying and wiping to come. So say I've got the labels, but I can recreate those. I just need another push button. I'm sure I've seen these push buttons on something else. There is some pictures of these on Radio Museum. Let's see if I can find those for you. Is it up on here? Yeah. Screen cap, cube, documents, all pictures. Oh. Already logged in. Go, go, go. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, see the lettering's come off of that one as well. So this is the one I've got. So it looks like someone's lost their KB lettering off of that. That one looks rougher than mine. Although this is clear, not yellow. They've got a button missing as well, look, by the looks of it. It's not the same one because I've got this button missing. Unless I swapped them over. No, I don't think I did. Just try to find. So this is the insides. There's definitely two AF. There's a 117. I think this is a 115 in mine. Can't quite see the date on that one, but mine's got a really clear date. So it's a KR012, and there's not a lot of info out there on these. Because it is the same radio, but it's a different chassis. So if we go to this one, so you should be able to see. Yeah, so you can see some of the lettering here now, look. But these two have worn off. I believe that is the off button there, and that is the band spread, or Luxembourg as it would be on mine. And this is a slightly different one, being that it's got some transistor thing here, but mine's got no sign of that ever being on it. Mine that's got the original aerial by the looks of it, which is nice. What other ones have we got? Any more pictures, or is that it? Oh no, okay, here's a top panel of mine. So yeah, you can just about make out the Lux there, look, for Luxembourg, and the SW. Now these were on mine originally, but when I cleaned it, they just completely wiped off. So yeah, that's a bit of a pain, really. Anything else? That's the other one, isn't it? I don't know if these are slightly different or not. They look the same, don't they? Although it looks like someone's changed that transistor there. We're going to zap these if necessary, but I think it will be necessary. And we've got these horrible alka modes. I can't remember if mine's got the alka modes in it or something else. I don't think it's the alka modes in mine. Anyway, back to the bench. Jeff, afternoon. How are you, mate? Chippy. Hey, Chippy. What's happening? Is that Rob? Rob's been gifting memberships again. Easy DJ. Mike C. Rattan Club. Jason Woods. So welcome to all my new members, and thank you very much, Rob, for gifting those memberships. Right, who else have we got here? There's all sorts of things happening here. A bit gap-toothed, yes it is. Took your driver's test. in a Ford Pinto. Just trying to keep up with the chat here a minute and just checking through. David tags in. Hi David, I think I did say hello. Not much use for the button, I know, but it looks a bit daft without it, Nick, doesn't it? It's definitely needing a button, isn't it? Will it work? Bingo, yeah. I don't think it will. Try using petrol. I mean, I could use lighter fluid, couldn't I? That might get rid of it. Derek Cooper, right, Derek, just a little squirt. Sticky belts. Back from lunch, Tim. Welcome back, mate. Red radials all round. Yeah, the old Mullard mustards reckon, well, people reckon they are the business. So let's have a nosy in the back of this. See, I think that has done some good there because it's sort of like made it more of a matte finish. That's just where I've just put my hands all over it, but yeah, it's made it more of a matte finish, I think. Let's get this screw out then and have a look inside. I mean, this is a coin slot, really, isn't it? Should be a coin used to undo this, but we'll just use my biggest screwdriver. Oh, wee! Nearly fell over. We've got a nice bit. Is that original, though? That bit of polystyrene would be a battery buffer. It may well be, because there's another bit of polystyrene glued in here, look. Is that genuine? Would there be a bit of polystyrene just as a buffer for the circuit board? It's not a very good one because it's not really touching it, but is that something that someone's added? I'm not sure. I'll have to look at that. So yeah, we've not got Alchemodes in this, but we've got these things which are Lemcos, and they're actually they got a date on those, look. Well, they have on one of them that I can see for sure. I don't know if you'll be able to see it or not. Yeah, there you are, look. January 64. So that capacitor's older than me. I was November 64. Interesting. Have we got any dates? Any other dates on these other ones? January. Yeah, they're all January 64. But the actual date in it you can see here, look. Oh, it's 9th of December. Get these wires out of the way. 9th of December 1965. It says Vic Hallam Limited. Past 16. 9th of December. And we've got our model number and serial number, I take it. I've got it upside down at the moment. I did notice there's another sort of QC number over here somewhere as well, just underneath these wires. Difficult to see it on the camera. Oh, that's a bit better angle. There's another QC triangular stamp there. Looks like QCR6. There's another number there. It's like Z49. Interesting stuff. And on the tuning cap we got "Do not remove." and do not lubricate. Certainly of its day, isn't it? So we've got lots of the Mullard mustard caps in here. So you shouldn't need to touch any of these, but we have got an AF 11117. AF 117. And over here we've got an AF 115, and those of you that don't know these transistors, they're a pain in the backside because they grow little tiny whiskers from the junctions to the metal can and short them out, and usually a swift flick or disconnecting the earth will get them working again. So we've got some little blue, probably Phillips type caps in here as well. Couple there, another couple. It doesn't appear, I mean, there's some shiny stuff on the board, but that's just flux, I think. It's on every component. I take it this would have been handmade, wouldn't it? So you've got some little bits of masking tape there. Look, I assume that's just to stop these wires shorting out. So someone stuck that on by hand back in the day. As I say, I'm not sure whether this polystyrene is factory or not. I really don't know. Could be, couldn't it? The date of my immaculate conception. Yeah, it probably is, isn't it? Huh. Wouldn't be far off. It looks like we've had a bit of battery leakage over the years, but not too bad. This is just the lead for the aerial, which is present and correct, I think. Now there was, I don't know where that's gone, but there was a little bit of wood floating about in here. Okay, that's dropped out somewhere then. Yeah, I'm not sure what that is. No doubt that's dropped on the floor. So the dial, as you can see, it's got some nice old stations on it, which gives you an idea of the date. Luxembourg, so you can see with the Luxembourg is right the way across there, so it's a band spread. And what frequency was Luxembourg on again? Was it on long wave Luxembourg? And then you can see around the outside we've got the meter bands for shortwave. So we've got 19 meters to 49 meters, or 49 to 19. Some nice grubby nicotine marking on the plastic. I think that's even in behind. So again, we've got to try and get this off, I expect. That's going to be an absolute nightmare. Not looking forward to that. 208 medium wave, was it? So 208 meters, not 208 kilohertz. Did Luxembourg sponsor the radio? No. There's lots of radios back in this era that had Luxembourg buttons on it because it was such a popular channel. And people just wanted to push a button and get there. It's like a preset, isn't it? You can sort of see, I don't know if it's not showing up on camera really, but you can see the difference in the colour between that and that. This is obviously where that strap's been over all the years. It's a shame really, apart from that button missing, the radio's not in bad condition. Right. I don't know what happened to that little tiny bit of wood. No doubt it's on the floor or it'll end up in my slipper or something. It was there earlier because I can remember pulling it out and trying to work out where it went. It might be in behind the chassis. So we need to see if this thing works, don't we? So it looks like would it be a PP9 or a PP7? Looks like a PP9, I would have thought. Yeah, PP9 battery. A lot of the radios, again, of this era used PP7s. Let's get my IC removers out of the way. Let's get the old panel wipe out of the way. I'm going to use a bit more of that on this one after we've finished. Let's find the power supply leads and hook this thing up. Now let's get the 9 volts up. Open your vehicles. Right, that should be enough. That's it works. We've got a stereo tuning capacitor. This must be long wave.
creates these holes in the leads. So you can see the leads here, they are full of holes, and they can brown at the tips, and really very unattractive.
Wow.
I think they're also, you walk past by them and sometimes they give off that horrible smell.
It works. I don't believe it. It works.
It's going to be wet dog aroma. Yeah. It actually doesn't smell too bad, but yeah, you often walk past
Drawing
them
20 milliamps.
into the front garden and they stink.
Well, I have dogs as well.
Oh.
So it's
Can you hear all that lot? There's all the minis going past. Right, let's hook it up to shortwave. Let's hook it up to shortwave and see what happens. Where are we? Yes, this one here. Mrs. Cruncher's out there watching it, I think. Loads of minis. I didn't expect it to work. Welcome, Derek. I did not expect that to work. Let's hook it up to a shortwave aerial. really scratchy tuning cap. It's working. Even shortwave's working. Really difficult to tune. Wow. That's in the 25-meter band according to the scale. China radio, no doubt.
Anthropologiques pourront nous expliquer un peu vos idées là-dessus.
Nous sommes en 2019. J'avais été invité par l'université normale.
Well, there you are. I really didn't think that was going to work, but it's working. What the hell? Can you believe that? It's working. Oh, well. That was a good live stream, so I'll see you all next week. Cheers. Bye for now. No. Let's have a look. I think I've seen Les drop in. Did I see Les drop in? Yeah, I've seen Les drop in. How you doing, Les? Let's have a look. Just come back. What's Rob been deleted for? Oh, more caps for Rob. He's the caps king. The caps king strikes again. Alright, let's have a look then. Let's keep going down through. You've been in a house where everything was covered in nicotine despite it being invisible. Texas Instruments transistor in there. Could be. World class radio. Internet recommends vinegar in detergent or lemon juice to remove nicotine. The transistor puberty. Gavin, how you doing, mate? Vinegar and detergent. You use it to clean out your empty tins of spaghetti bolognese. Now, what do you call detergent? Do you mean dishwashing stuff, or clothes washing, or how you doing, Derek? A bit on the last few weeks, changing the cables on the aerial mast. Wow, that's a big job. So 208 we've sorted. 208. Yeah, they got their own button, right? 1440 kilohertz, so that's basically 1.4 megs then, really. Hi Danish, how are you? Radio rocks over 8 bits any day. I know. I like to mix it up a bit, though, Paul. You know that. It predated the pirate stations. Luxembourg or Anti-Beeb. No choice, yeah. I do remember listening to Luxembourg back in the day. I used to listen to it. I must admit, I only used to listen to it at night time in the car. I was out in the car for night time. I always put Atlantic 252 or Radio Luxembourg on. You love the light program on 1500 meters and VHF. End of the show, Nick. Yeah. Button replacement. I can't believe it's working. It definitely needs a tuning cap sorted. It's a mad parade of minis. If you look back through my videos, Joe, you'll see I did a couple videos of them coming through the village. Yeah, tuning cap plates coated with nicotine. It's probably been stood for many years. You can't clean the cap. No lubrication. The Grand Duke of Luxembourg then is estimated to be worth 4 billion. Recap it. Zap the transistors, clean the tuning cap, and it's done. Yeah, you're right, really. There was a suggest not recapping, at least not unless a new button turns up. Cosmetic work only, apart from the tuning cap. Off to the shops, Theo. Catch you in a minute, mate. Oh, Bush Raider that used a PP6 6-volt battery. Hopefully it's not a 6-volt because I've just chucked 9 volts across it. What's the point of restoring it if the electrics are knackered? Yeah, well, there you are. We can get it done. Dish soap, washing up liquid. Yeah, Yeah, we're okay, Derek. Thank you. Drop a fairy liquid in vinegar, by the sound of it. Orange oil cleaner would remove the tobacco juice. Thank you, Rob. Mehdi, hello from Cork. Welcome, mate. You've got this radio too, Miss Earth. Yeah, so what we need to do really is get one off and make a 3D drawing of it and print one out with some white stuff. And I got one of them's cracked as well. I don't know if you can see that little mark. The camera's probably blowing it out, but there is a little brown mark in the middle there. So that one's actually got a bit of a crack in it. But yes. Nice. Reminds you of the old pipe days, doesn't it? So yes, strangely the AF115 and 117 do seem to be working, but have they got any voltage on them, I wonder? So let's just pop it on again, and let's just see if there's any voltage on the top of those. Let's just have a look, see if we've got any voltage there. Let's just disconnect that. Get that out off of the bench. So we know it works on shortwave, which I was surprised to be able to receive anything on shortwave on it. So let's, I mean that should be ground, one of the cans. No voltage on that one. Nothing on that one. How bizarre. Let's just try it from the actual earth. Ah, okay. No, we've got 9 volts on that one on the can. And we've got 9 volts on that one. Hang on. Hey? Is this a positive earth though? It says we've got 9 volts on both of those cans. That can't be right, can it? It's only drawing 20 milliamps. So I mean, if wow. If I put that to that, no. Yeah, so the other transistor there is drawing nothing. That's got 9 volts on it, and that's got 9 volts on it. Okay, interesting. Let's turn the power supply off for a minute. So let's just see if we've got shorts then. So if I go to ohms, if I go from each of these to the can, so this is the collector. Yeah, we got 500 ohms. Yeah, we got shorts on this one and this one. 4 ohms there. And this one. But then that could be down to the situation of it in circuit. That's the only thing. You can't really test them in circuit. The only other way to test them in circuit would be to snip the ground off. Don't really want to do that because I want to reuse these. I think I will take them out and have a look, because it's, to me that looks like they have got shorts on them, but until you get them out you can't really see for sure. It is working, but I'm not sure how long it would be working for. Now the reason that this has got muck in it is because this bit of tape has come loose. So if we look at the tuning cap here, can you see you've got a little bit of tape here, and that should hold this plastic bit here up this way. but that slipped down, allowing muck to get in there, which is what's got nicotine all over the tuning vanes. And I mean, it's, if you look here, if I can, yeah, so it looks like we're going to have to desolder it to get this cover off, because the cover goes through these two. That's a pain. So that's got to come off and be cleaned, and I'm going to need to pop these two out just to have a look, because they are showing signs of shorts. I mean, it could be that they're referenced to ground. I don't know. Let's just try it another way a minute. Let's just go from the actual can itself. Or that, I did that, didn't I? Yeah, I did that anyway. That's what I was getting. Yeah, I think they've got shorts. It is still working though, so they are still transistors, just about. But who knows? Les is a positive chassis, is it? Les Jervis, welcome Les. Flipping out, Aaron. That's a lot of money to enclose motorways. Sweet as a newborn lamb. Which reminds me, I need to get something inside me. I've got no finger to go in today, but I have got an old crafty Henler. Oh, oak aged, nice. Radio fixing gear. So if this is a positive chassis, we would be getting 9 volts on the ground. Is that right? Or no? No, I don't. Yes, we would. We would be getting 9 volts from earth to the can. Let's pop the schematic up and have a nosy. Can we view this full screen? No. Just get rid of me. So this is ground then, with the dark black line, I would assume, with all our switching. Now, is the thin line negative or the thick line negative? I can never get this right. It seems to change with each diagram, doesn't it? So let's go back over to here again. So here's our battery, 9 volt. We've got a thin line and a thick, shorter line. So coming down through this switch here, this is all our push buttons, I take it. E2, E1, E3, J3, blah, 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 blah. But this has got to be ground. But is that the positive side of that cap, isn't it? I think that is the positive side of the cap. So this would be positive. So we're saying that this is positive and that is negative. Because yeah, we've got a separate ground there. That's not chassis ground, is it? It's confusing, isn't it? What's the verdict? Just see if it says anything about it. Alignment. Okay. So this is an RC3 chassis. I take it there's more than one radio used this chassis, but it says they're suitable for long, medium, and short wave bands, and band spread on the medium wave band between 195 and 215 meters. Obviously, ours is set up at did you say 202 for Luxembourg? PP9 battery life 400 to 450 hours. Now, that's something you don't see very often on in the service info, isn't it? Your battery life. I mean, you can work it out, but that's nice to see that. So PP9 is going to last you a fair amount of time. Standing current 60 milliamps, 50 milliwatts output. 400 milliwatts onset of clipping. Useful info. So band spread we know is 195 to 215. Shortwave 6 to 16 megahertz, or megacycles per second, kilocycles per second. When did it change to hertz then? Because hertz. Now, what did Hertz do? Did he suss out, or I don't know. I think Hertz was about before this. Then they started calling it Hertz. I don't know. So we've got our mixer oscillator is one AF115, and our other AF117 is the IF amplifier. I mean, it does seem sensitive enough. I mean, it's no worse than any of my other radios, I don't think. Then we've got OC 70, 75, 81Ds. And then we've got an 81 and an AC 127 as a push-pull output. Overload protection diode. Doesn't say anything about it being positive earth though, does it? But doesn't say anything here in the alignment instructions maybe. Cool. My hands smell like I'm a smoker now. I have alignment. Nope. So quite a good little service manual, really. Pretty much everything in there that we need. But I'm pretty sure that the empty bit is positive, and that does look to be going to ground. So these are NPNs, aren't they? Interesting. Okay, let's see what we say. What we're saying. Giving him exception for anger. Oh, crafty Enya too. Oh, cheers, Tim. Nice point. Very nice point. The thin line is positive. So it is positive ground then. -9 on the top rail. Okay, so that's why we would have it then. Okay. 208 for Luxembourg. Yeah, you are right. Sorry. Is that normal? It is, but you know, you can pop them out, can't you? What shall we do then? What's the diagnosis then? I think it's definitely worth popping out those AFs just to have a look. If they've got no shorts on them, then we'll stick them back in. No problem. If they got shorts on them, we'll zap them. Nice drop of the crafty hen there. Hertz was a German physicist. He was first to prove Maxwell was right on electromagnetic waves. Very good, Bob. Capacitor bingo, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it would be nice to keep the original caps in there, wouldn't it? Being they are dated. What do we do with this radio though? It's such a dog, isn't it? Oh, there's that little bit of wood I was looking for. Is that, or is that one that's glued? Is that glued in? Yeah, there's that little bit of wood I was saying about. I just found it there, like lurking. That's actually glued up in here. It just helps locate the case. So I'm going to need to glue that back in there, and also need to find another one for the other side. It does actually look... or have they been nasty to us? It looks like we can get this board out without taking the dial off. We can't get the tuning cap off without the dial. Before that protrudes in. Do not lubricate. Do not remove cover. Do not pass go. Do not do what they say. So it looks like that PCB is held in with two screws, that one and that one. Whether that'll allow me to tilt it all up, I don't know. First cut is the deepest. What are we talking about here? Officially, cycles were replaced with hertz in 1960. Hertzian waves. Let's see if this board is going to play ball. This is where we take something apart that's working, and then it don't never work again, isn't it? Is that like proper English? Like what I said? Like what? I don't know what the audio likes. It's like apology for the duff mic yet again. Do need to get that sorted. Right, the wires are fairly rigid, but I think that's a first, isn't it? You don't have to physically take the tuning dial off to get into a radio. That's a fairly tight wire in there, but I think it will allow us to get in. I struggle to desolder it unless it'll come this way a little bit. It's not going to go very far because that's touching those. Let's get up over. I reckon I've got enough room to get the desoldering tool in there, so let's fire her up. Let's pop these two little monkeys out and see what they do. So collector shield, base emitter. Let's take a picture of that. There is a layout actually. This for something that's not specific, it has got quite a good layout. Let's get that light down on the situation a bit better. On that one. Okay, strange that they. Like that's collector shield base and emitter. They've left the base. The base is looking like it's the shield wire really, but it's not. I'm surprised they haven't put a shield like a cover on that wire. But what are you babbling on about now, Graham? Oh, some very dodgy soldering on this. Dogs are fretting, I think, because Mrs. Cruncher's still out the front. Not the greatest soldering job I've ever seen this, but it is working, isn't it? We'll pop a couple of, well, I'll pop one of these caps out. I'll pop probably this one here out and see what it's reading. Let's pull the first AF117 out. Let's see what's happening with it. Is it that one? Yep. And that one maybe? Yeah, that one. Is it multiple things going through the same hole? Or are we back here? We're back there, aren't we? That's that one out. Can we get this one out easily? Yes. Woohoo! That was easier than I expected. Right. Just going to nick those to stop them. So base, so collector, shield, base emitter. Right, let's try this one first. Do we think this has got shorts then? So I'm going to go from the can. Let's see if I can get you in a little bit better so you can see. Is it going to focus right up to here? Probably not. So I'm just going to hold one probe on the can. So, ooh, steady. That is the shield wire there, so that should be a dead short. Yeah, 2.9 ohms. This is the collector, so it should be OL on this, and it is. base, an emitter. So that one literally has got no shorts at all. So it's no wonder it works. No shorts whatsoever. You believe that? Whoa. I think that wire. Yeah, that shield wire didn't have a connection on it. So that was on this wire here. That was the emitter. So the collector and the emitter have got covers on them and nothing else. Right, let's pop some back in a minute. Quickly, before we forget which side it goes on. And already we've got a little leg thing that doesn't want to stay on. So he's there. 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 Alright, that one's in. Let's pull this one out then. Right, same again. Now this is the mixer oscillator, I believe. The other one was the IF. Right, so that's our shield wire. No, it's not. That's a shield wire. Yeah, that's a shield wire, so we should have a dead short there. Yeah, okay. So the others shouldn't have any connection. But we have got something there. We have got something there. And we have got something there. It's not great, but there is definitely that one's definitely got some shorts. So we're going to need to zap it. Zappy time. Let's get zapping then. Now, let's have a look. We're going to do it with these. No, I prefer to do it with the other ones. Just got to find my leads a minute. But yeah, time for zapping. Zap the bejesus out of it. Hi Joe, how are you? Good morning to you, mate. So one is good and one isn't quite so good, but they're both, I mean, it's only a very small resistance there. But let's zap it, because it is the oscillator, so at some stage that would make the oscillator fail, I'm sure. Although, amazingly, it is okay at the moment. The leads are really tangled up here at the moment. Let's get this out. So do you want me to go through this step by step again, or are you all happy that you know how to do this? I've done it so many times now. You should all know this off by heart, really. But we have maybe got some new viewers that might not know about the zapping of old transistors. Let's get that out there. Wait a minute. really need to do a bit of cable untangling here very soon. Afternoon, Gia, how are you? Rob, how are you, mate? Thanks, Rob. It's a nice old radio. It's certainly of its day. It's definitely a 60s radio. It's got that air about it, isn't it? So I'm just going to join together both sections of my bench power supply to give me 2 lots of 32 volts potentially, which is 64 volts, although I tend to use about 50 volts for zapping. We can wind this thing up to 64 volts, so we need it to track. Put that one in there, that one in there. Power on. Put the current up to about halfway. Let's go up. As far as you'll go is, so it'll do 64 volts, so that's, pop it back to, I don't like to use things on their maximum unless we've got to, so I'm going to stick it around about 50 volts, about 51, 52 volts now. Let's just double check that. That's on these 2 leads here now, so we should have around about 50 odd volts on that. So let's see. Oh, so, okay, so we've got just under 52 volts set on that. That's ideal. Right, let's turn that off now. Can do this with a load of 9-volt batteries all linked up if you want to. So with the transistor, let's just get all the legs off. I should better work out where they all went back. Famous last words, isn't it? Just going to bend the legs up a bit straighter. I must get some more pliers. I've got a brand new set of these pliers, but I still use these old ones with one spring missing. Look, one spring missing, and I've sort of got bent ends on them. I gotta replace these. I've got another 2 pairs of these. One set's in the car, and the other set's in the shed. Right. So what we need to do first, we need to separate the shield wire out. So with AF117s, the shield wire, I don't know if you can see that or not, but these wires, there's a bigger space between the collector and the next wire, just here. So you've got a big space there, and a much smaller space between the other 3 wires. So that space denotes that is the collector, and the one next to the collector is a shield wire. Then you've got base and emitter. So this shield wire, we need to just pull out the way. I need to solder these 3 together. So we're going to zap from the shield, to all 3 junctions connected together, so it shouldn't damage the transistor. So that's the next step then, is to twist them together like that. So I've got my shield wire and I've got my 3 junctions all connected together. I'm just going to put a blob of solder on those. There we are. I'm going to grab one of my old zapping caps. Now these have done many a zap. So these are rated at 100 volts. Oh, hang on, my thing's gone out of focus now. Come on, back into focus. Come on. No. Don't like it because the light's gone in there. Let's try that. There we go. Come on, back you come. Come on. Come on. Didn't like it because the light jumped into the shot. Come on. There we go. Yeah, so say this is rated at 100 volts. You need to make sure that it's rated higher than the voltage you're zapping, otherwise it'll go bang and frighten the life out of you. So I tend to use these the way round that they're orientated. So I'm going to connect the positive to these junctions. You don't have to, but you just need to make sure you get it the right way round when you come to zapping. So just soldering that on there. So that cap is now joined to those 3 junctions. The idea is that we put a charge into that cap and then we discharge it by touching it to that wire there. So we're going to connect the power supply across this, making sure I've got the negative connected to the negative of the power supply. Then we're just going to touch it and that will just zap it all away. Right, let's do that. So we connect positive to positive, negative to negative. Get that off the bench. So watch for the bang. Now there shouldn't be anything at the moment. So as I touch that to that, nothing's happened. So potentially that is just zapped that transistor and got rid of that very small amount of resistance. So let's turn that back off. What I like to do then is just get a resistor, if I can find my box of resistors. Where have they gone? Right over there. Just to get a resistor, and this is 100 ohm. I'm just going to connect it across there just to discharge it. Then what I'm going to do is just connect this one to here. So a lot of you have already seen this, but this is for those that haven't seen this before. Just going to connect that to there with a bit of solder. If I can get it to stay in place while I solder it. That's now connected up. So again, I'm going to go back in and connect up my power supply. Flick it back on. And then what we're going to do is just going to give this a few taps with a screwdriver or something, just to make sure there's no shorts right near the edge of the case. So it's just blowing off any other shorts that are likely to be there. That should be enough. Let's turn that off. So say that should now have capacitance, sorry, voltage still in it. So let's have a look. Where are we? Yeah, so that's got, you can see it's still got 17 volts in it. It's holding it fairly steady. It's dropping off. So just want to discharge that. Just using this cap. Should be discharged now. You do find it creeps up gradually, but okay, right. Let's disconnect this from the cap. Ow. Try not to flick hot solder onto your hand. It can go back up in its bed now for future Zapping. Just desolder these. So we need to see if this is now cleared. I hope it has. If it hasn't, we need to do it again, but let's hope it has. Let's get the multimeter back in. Let's zoom out a bit actually, because we don't need to be in that close. Back onto ohms, so again onto the case. We should have continuity there, which is our ground. Yep. So there should be nothing on any of these other wires. Nothing there. Nothing there. And nothing there. So that has cleared it. But is it still a transistor? Because you can damage the junctions doing this. So you just need to check with a component tester, or you could do it with a multimeter to make sure this is still a transistor. And that we haven't blown it up. Which it is. There you go. PNP bijunction transistor. HFE is 166. 0.28 leakage. There you go. One good transistor. Operation Zappy Zap is complete and a success. Right, so let's have a look. This had, I think, the same colour code, didn't it? So it had the dark red one on the collector for sure. I think it didn't have anything. I think it had that on that. It doesn't have anything on the base, and it had that on the emitter. I think. Just have a look at my photo just to make 100% sure. I'll catch up with the chat. Okay. Interesting. Connect with the darker one, shield that one, let me see that one. Okay, just want to check that because I would have wired that up backwards. Right, let's get the radio back in. Just catch up with the chat a minute. There we go in then. San and Ben, thank you for the tip. Afternoon Bazaar, how are you? No little hammer for it, no. What's the point of the cap if the power supply is connected? They're easy enough to find some replacements for, Rob. You just got to pay the money, unfortunately, for an AF127. The cap method limits the energy used. Yeah, you can damage a capacitor by shorting it. How many joules? I don't know Danish. So that was a success, yeah. Thanks, Bazaar. It is FM, yes. It is just for these type. Well, you can do it. Some of the output transistors have developed shorts in them, and you can just zap them directly to the cam. Right, let's get this one put back in. Then I think we'll do a sense check and just test the radio, make sure I've not got anything in the wrong place. If I can get in here to solder it in, that is. I sort of like need to rest it on my belly here. Bit of belly assistance. That's why you need a bigger stomach, see, for helping you do stuff like this. Oh, stay there. Stay up there, you little monkey. Not easy soldering up things at an angle, but there we are. Let's solder this one back in as well. Forget that, Graham. I don't think any of that forms a ground. Does that form a ground there? No, there's no ground connected. Okay. So that should be fine to test like that. We just need to make sure I don't hook it up to this power supply as it is, otherwise we'll be sticking a lot of voltage through it. So let's just get my power supply back to normal. To 9 volts. Current limit on it. Right, okay, we haven't killed it. That's good news. That is good news. It's still alive. It's still alive. Right, let's pop one of these caps out and just have a little nosy. Just to be nosy, you know. We'll see what it's like. At the end of the day, output transistors in these are very expensive if you've got to replace them. Right, let's so the negative is over there. Be careful with these because it looks like they've doubled them over, which is really nice of them. They've like doubled the caps over just to make it extra difficult to get them out. Why? Have a look at that. See why they've doubled it over. I don't want to break it unnecessarily. Okay, so that's the bit there. So that's negative at the back. Just mark that. Right, what is this then? This is a 1964 January, 260 microfarads at 12 volts. So what do you think this is going to measure on the ESR meter? 260 at 12 volts, 1964, so I can tell you that's 59 years old, because that's the same age as me. Although this is a little bit older. So place your bets then. What do you think that's going to measure? Are we going to have to change these caps, or is this going to be fine? To be honest, I could probably stuff these. That would be the best option. I don't really want to get rid of that date code, although it is stamped in the radio, but I assume that's the assembly. 9th of December 1965. So these were on the shelf for, what's that, January to December. So they're on the shelf for 11 months. Zapping the tuning cap. Turn them into smoke. No, I'm not going to do that. FM? Additional bench space. No fancy cap zap in there. You've zapped semi-good woofers by hooking them up to the Variac. You mustn't hook your pets up to the Variac, Thomas. Hook the woofers up. How are we doing then? 260 microfarads. A strange value, isn't it? So which one is this then? This looks like this is in the driver stage, this one. 260. Let's have a quick look at our diagram, see what this one does then. Or is it that one? Right, okay, which way around is that board done? It always shows you back side of the board, doesn't it? So that's that. That's one output. What's the other output? This is back here. It is. Sorry, I'm just talking to myself. Don't worry about me. I'm fine. So we've got C26, C24, and I believe this is C18. So this is C18. Let's have a quick look on the schematic where C18 is. Okay, so C18 is C18 is up here. So this is just, it looks like decoupling or some description in there to ground. It's this one here. So it's just connected to the negative rail to ground, to chassis ground. Is that chassis ground? And this is battery ground? I don't know. It baffles me. I've always been confused with that. Triode Hexad, how are you, mate? No, the case, unfortunately, on this triode smells like nicotine, mate. Smells like many, many years of nastiness. But welcome, Triode Hexad, anyway. Right, so let's have a look what this cap is then. What do we've got a few guesses, so let's push the button. 268 at 0.29. Wow. That is going back in, isn't it? That is going back in. Did we have anybody that said around 260? Let's have a look. 270 for Ben. Very close. 268. I don't think we're going to get any closer than 270, are we? 265. Very close, Robert. But no, it looks like it is Ben. 270, Ben. 2 out. Well, 1.7 out even. In that chassis ground and positive are the same. It's confusing, Tim. So yeah, that one is fine, which gives me some sort of hope that the others are okay. It's not really failing anywhere. I don't know if there's any voltages we could check on the board just to make doubly sure that we're not losing anything. Seems sensitive enough though. I can't believe that this is original polystyrene though, can you? Right, let's just pop a little bit of flux on this and just feed it with a bit of fresh solder a minute. Okay, well, you've got to assume that the others are going to be okay, I suppose, although they are in the amplifier section, so potentially they could have a bit more stress, but there's a little diode there. Right, tuning cap next then. Let's just pop the screws back in this for a sec. I think that, I can't remember which one had the washer on it now. Probably that one. Right, El Tuni Cappy. Let's take some pictures of the wires and which way round they are. See if we can pop these off. I expect they're going to need desoldering. Let's just desolder them. So that's come off nice and easy. I've still got plenty of midweek videos, just the little snippets to put out of radio demos and that, if you're liking all that. I do get quite a few people watching them, so I think it's worth doing. If you're a Patreon or a channel member, you may have seen some of them before, but some of them are pretty old. I've also got a huge archive of video that I've shot many years ago that I've never published. Mainly because I've done it like lots of times. Maybe it's, you know, what I used to do for every radio I repaired, I used to do a video of it for the customer, but that's not really very cost effective by the time you've edited it and that, so I don't tend to do that now unless it's a fancy radio or someone specifically wants it. Of course, if you buy a radio that's been on one of the streams like Chris does, then you get that footage anyway, Chris, don't you? There we go. Well, so those two wires off. So in theory, that should just slip over there. Theory doesn't always work like that, does it? It's not slipping over that one so well. Let's get a bit of the old braid in there. Clean it up a bit better. Is there a particular old vintage radio that anybody would like me to look at, or one that I've done in the past they'd like to see another one of, or something that maybe I've still got that I haven't finished? I've got lots of ones that don't work still. Come on, you can do it. Come on, there we go. There we are. Let's get his little hat off, look. Now I suspect this is going to be more likely the center pivot. Oh, what's that in there? That's unusual. What's that all about then? Okay, right, yeah, it's just a little spring clip, but what's that doing? Is that grounding it? Is that the ground point? They're very, very fine veins on this. So it could be that they're dirty, I don't know. They look absolutely shining clean. Okay. Need to be very, very careful with these. Give them a dust off. Blast of air. Not forgetting the other half. Yeah, so that little spling clip, that little spring, you won't be able to see it there, but if I turn the thing around, I can get you in a bit closer. If I open the cap right up and get the camera in there for you, you know what I'm banging on about. So you can just about see there's a little bit of metal here. Now that goes in a little loop and it's like a little clip. Can you see the little spring there as I move it? That is our ground. To be fair, it's not very tight, that. It's very loose. Now if that doesn't make good contact, that'll give you a scratchy tuning dial. It's a bit slack. There's not really any way I can do anything about that unless I desolder it and try and bend them in a bit further. But I can put some deoxit in there, which might give us a little bit of a better ground. So let's put a little bit of D100 from the syringe in there. Now this is ideal for this job really because it's got a little tiny needle point on it. I can get that in there without getting it all over the tuning cap, hopefully. Got a little tiny bit on there we go. Just going to rotate. It's a bit stiff actually, so I'm going to need to put some more grease in that bearing, but that's really, really close. So let's hook it back up and see if any of that has stopped the scratchiness. It will take a minute for the deoxit to work, so we'll catch up with a chat a minute. Let's have a look. Never assume when it comes to electronic components. Yeah, I know. You're never going to hear the last of it, Sandra. Sorry about that. Check the IF alignment. Yeah, we can do that, Tim. You're always up for a hacker. Yeah, it's about time. I was going to pull another hacker out, but I have got a hacker, a special hacker that I'm trying to find the bits for. Once I found the bits for it, then that'll be making another appearance, and you've only seen it the once. Very rare. Sovereign 3. Cosser. Melody Maker with FM. You're a bit biased, Tim, aren't you? I don't think I've got a Melody Maker, I think, but I don't think it's the FM version. Anything with valves? Yeah, plenty of valve stuff still to come. Joe would like to see a refit on the old tube tester. Yeah, I would like to get that done. I've got to get it done, haven't I? It's not really something for a live stream though, Joe, because it's so intricate. I'm really gonna have to have my head stuck in the literature, the service manual for it. It's one of those things. It's I need to set it out on the bench first and work out where all the voltages go. It's going to be a nightmare job. You'd love to see me repair a vintage HMV radio if you haven't already. Have I done an HMV? I'm not sure if... Yeah, I must have done an HMV, surely. I had one underneath the bench there for years, and I actually took it down the auction house in the end and got a shot of it, a big old woody that I put an advert on on one of the free cycle pages. Anybody got any old radios they don't want? And a lady contacted me, had this old radio up in her loft, and pulled it down. It was a big old wooden cased HMV thing, but it was a bit rough, to be fair. I've invalidated the warranty. Let's try to catch up. Jess, afternoon. How you doing, mate? Any spare pocket shortwave radios so you can go camping? Pocket shortwave radios. Yeah, I've got a few, Jess. Yeah. Yeah, I've got a little. I don't know if it's a Sony one or a Roberts one that I keep in the car for when I'm out and about. My Pi radio, Ben. Which Pi radio is that? I've got quite a few Pi radios here. Would you like to revisit your RP30? I will do it at some stage, Rob, if you think one of the transistors has gone dodgy. Soon be Christmas. Thank you, Theo. How about Dan sets? I've done a Dan set up there, haven't I? I did the Dan set 222, was it? Yeah, it is a fairly big project, but Steam and 440 volts. Have you ever heard of a plusogram? No, I haven't, Aaron. No. You have a regular Sovereign 3 which I bought for an aerial. Any use? Yeah, Bob, they're always useful, mate, for bits. Knobs, some of the knobs fit the Super Sovereign. The amp boards in them fit multiple radios. The push buttons fit the Super Sovereigns. Very useful, mate. There's a video on YouTube showing a tuning cat. Tuning cat? Where's the tuning cat? So I should think so. Tuning cap. Tuning cat. Like a micro thunderstorm. The guy doesn't tell the voltage though. It's okay to post a link. Yeah, you won't be able to post a link unless you're an admin FM, unfortunately. if you can tell me what the video is, we can do a search for it for you. A marathon tube tester fix over the Christmas. I'll tell you what I have got that would be really, really interesting, which scares me to death. Let's see if I can get this over that way. And it's it's a bit of a jumble over here, but you'll probably just about make it out. Let's see if I can do this. It's a handheld camera, so apologies for this, but I know you like a good old look around the shack, etc. So over here, you see that big grey box with the lever? That is a Mullard high-speed valve tester. And I've got a few bits and pieces over this side. This is my sort of radio shack area with all my listening gear and that. But yeah, I've got a big old Mullard high-speed valve tester over there, and I bought it off of eBay, and it is a bit ropey, to be fair. It's a bit scary, but I wouldn't mind at some stage getting into that. But again, I think that's probably a video series in its own right, not a live stream as such, because it is going to be a real fiddly, a bit of a nightmare job, that is. I've seen inside the things, and they are pretty scary. Pretty scary. You love valve testers, Theo, do you? Ha. SP80. Hi Simon, how are you, mate? I have got an SP80 that I got in, didn't I, as a spare set. I've got 2 SP80s here, so I could do that. I need more radios. It's not junk, Paul. It's all good stuff, mate. There's no junk there. It is a monster. Plusogram is a motorized version of the old wind-up gramophone. Flipping out, that sounds scary, Aaron. Junk. It's not junk. It's not junk. It's all scanners and radios and receivers and transmitters and all sorts of things. And my aircon. It is actually looking a little bit tidier than normal, but I've got a load of junk up on top there. That's my next project, is to clear that lot out and actually put some like cubby holes in there. I've got some plywood to do it, but I haven't got round to it yet. The big rig at the bottom right is an ICOM 7800. Gavin. It's my pride and joy. Although I've got loads of stuff planted on top of it at the moment. But yeah, it's an IC 7800. That's crazy money, but you know. I decided that I was made redundant, so with my redundancy money, I was going to buy one, and I bought it. Probably shouldn't have done, but there you go. Paul's crying out for the bin. What? Danish, you're not actually Mrs. Cruncher, are you? Are you the same person? I reckon Mrs. Cruncher's Danish native in disguise. Paddy, how you doing, mate? Woodchuck is subjective. Okay, search for Clashy Drenko Reporter. Okay, I'm going to do that, FM. Let's do that. See if we can find... See if it'll let me copy that. Got it. The Google Pixel 9. We've got it. So this is the video that we want then. It's a bit of an advert for Google Pixel 9 at the moment.
And this is another family photo without the person taking the photo in it.
Skip. Is he showing the shorts, or is he zapping them? Whoa! He's got some voltage going through that, hasn't he? Which I suppose you could do that with DC, couldn't you? Doesn't seem to be clearing it though. Oh dear. We're not going to be doing this. This is something for Mr. George Christopher, this is. Oh, it is clearing it. It is clearing it. Was it burning big holes in the plates? Wow. Let's pop a link for that one in then. Let's just pop your link in for anyone that wants to watch that again. That's crazy stuff. There you go. There's a link for you. Let's have a look. You just ribbon me. I know, Paul. Yeah, I think, you know, kind of a bit of banter, I think, isn't it? Is that what we call it? Thanks, Zapping. Yeah. Tried hack. So you got one of those. Worked 35 years ago. Have 2 tin boxes of data cards. Still can't figure out the logic of using CRT as a pass-fail indicator. Yeah, it's a strange thing. I've seen videos of them working. I've got actually, I think, 4 or 5 boxes of cards. I got a set with the valve tester, and it didn't have the test cards in it, if you know what I mean, because you got like a voltage test card. You got about 3 or 4 test cards that you're supposed to put through it before you start measuring valves, and I didn't have the test cards. So anyway, another one came up for sale, and he had loads. He had spare cards with it. So I actually went and paid another £100 and got another set of cards, which has got the test cards in it. So I pretty much got everything ready to go on that. But it needs to go outside. It's so big and bulky. It needs to go outside to be cleaned out, because it's no doubt it's got loads of muck in it. I think it came from a repair shop and someone's bodged about with it. There's a cover missing off of the front, and there's lots of like do not touch this that's obviously been touched, and it's a bit scary. Derek's saying, did you ever get the Sony CD player sorted going after? I did dig it out, Derek. I bought the mechanism for it, mate, and I've got the mechanism in the spare room ready to go in it. But we're using it. We're using it as our kitchen radio at the moment because it's really good. It's a great MP3 speaker, so we're using it as an MP3 speaker at the moment. So I've got the CD unit to go in it, but not done nothing else with it, Derek. Hi Ralph, how you doing, mate? You recorded a new Mavis episode. No worries, mate. Yeah, I don't know. You don't know what voltage. I wouldn't have thought he would have put mains across it. Hi Ganesh, welcome back, mate. So yeah. Right. Let's see if we've cured this then by just giving it a blowout and a brush over and putting some deoxit on the ground connection. Let's give it another whirl. Right, let's connect her back up again. Look at that. Sorted. Not a single crackle. Let's try it on long wave. Squealing like a pig now. Let's doing that then. So that one. So that one. It sounds like a power supply, doesn't it? Is it that one? Yes, it's that one. Jesus. We've got some noisy switches and a very, very stiff . Seem to have lost radio 4 though. We have got a transistor that jumped out of the holder. Well, that's going to make any difference, but so we fixed the tuning cap, but now we've lost all tuning. My IF transistor's not gone funny, is it? Ah. Oh God! Where's, and this is a double goat situation. This is a double goater. They're both going to have to come out for this. It's a double goat situation. Didn't reconnect the tuning cat wires, did I? So we don't even know if I've cleared the shorts. Oh dear, oh dear. Graham, what you like? Shall we temporarily connect them, just in case? Let's just temporarily connect them. Now it was the yellow to the front and the black to the back. Let's get the black one in first. The yellow one, which is a bit of a mess. Took a bit of getting out, the yellow one did. Right, let's try again. You fool. What's the matter with you? You probably were all shouting at the screen, but you know. This is what live stream is all about, isn't it? It's the major cock-ups that I do. Right.
It somehow knows it, but it's numb.
Little tiny bit there, it seems to be clearing.
Displacement is. Stand about.
Yes.
So by destroying A, history, archaeological treasures, but B, environmental treasure, building a dam with very short-term thinking was a very, very controversial project. Also,
the flip side of that, they're going to sign Mamadashvili. I mean, that really...
Sorted.
Yes, indeed. The man of the moment himself. Many, many congratulations. I mean, clearly it was an interesting first half, but complete dominant second half. But to score a hat-trick in, 14, 15 minutes, what does that mean to you?
Done. Yes. Oh dear. What am I like? I don't have a replacement button, unfortunately, Joe. I wish I did. He can't get into his kitchen. Well, apparently they used to have these high-speed valve testers in the like corner shops. So you take your valves into your corner shop and test away to your heart's content. The person behind the counter would just go and plug your valve in, push the button or pull the lever, whatever it was, and hey presto, you had a valve that was either good or bad. If it was bad, they'd sell you another one. That's my understanding of the high-speed valve tester anyway. There's a big section in the vintage radio forum on the high-speed valve tester. There's a project out there to recreate all of the cards that were ever made. So you can actually buy every single card for every valve made now, pretty much. So you basically put the card in, you pull the lever down, and it's got like a little dot, little CRT dot on the front panel that tells you whether it's a good or a bad valve. Pass, fail. Ideal for this sort of work, really, when you're just doing something fairly quick. Right, we need to get those wires off and this plastic cover back on, but I suspect that the problem with that was that center piece. I put that bit of deoxit on, has cleared that. Simple as that. Do not remove the cover, do not pass go. I've actually stuck that to there, so what I'll do is I'll cut that off with a sharp knife, and I'll stick some Kapton tape around that just to hold it in place back how it would have been. And it looks the same colour as Kapton tape as well. Let's give it a wipe off with some isopropyl. Thanks, Gavin. I'll say this cover is sort of preventing most of the problems, I would think. Let's get rid of some of the nicotine inside. Nicotine gets everywhere, doesn't it? It gets inside. I mean, no doubt there's some nicotine on the vanes, but this little cover would have stopped a lot of that happening. Do not lubricate, although they do need a little drop. I'm going to put a little tiny drop of super lube in it, which is quite thick. This is good stuff, super lube. Super lube. Let's just fully open that tuning gang again. I'll just drop a little tiny bit. I don't want to get it anywhere but in there. Just wipe any excess off. Good stuff, that. There's a link. I think I've got a link to that in the description. There's a link to a lot of my tools and bits and pieces that I use in the description. I've not yet had any payout from Amazon for people that have bought stuff off of my links, but you know, one day I might get a few quid. Might chuck me a fiver, you never know, for my troubles. Okay, let's see if we can get this thing back over the top of here. Yeah, it's sitting back on there nicely now. Sort of like clicked back in there. See if we can get a bit of capped on a minute to match that. Is that too big? Bit too big. Where's my thin capped on tape when I need it? I'll pull the whole lot down again, aren't I? Quite a few people bought the magnifying headset, which this one here, a lot of people have bought that off of my Amazon link, but what I've done, as you can see, I've modified it. I put some proper screws in, because those plastic pegs that they use, these things here, these plastic pegs are absolute rubbish, and the if you leave these in, what happens is over time these just drop off, and you can be looking at something, all of a sudden your lens drops off. So I put some what do you call those nuts? Oh, I can't remember what they're called now. Nylock nuts. I'll put some nylock and some M3 brass screws through there, and that is now held nice and tight. Little modification, but still quite a lot cheaper than the Optivisor, which was like 40-50 quid. Actually, let's just do a little bit of isopropyl on that area as well. Plessy made that tuning cap. That there's a name from the past, Plessy. I'm trying to think. My mum used to work. No, my mum worked for Texas Instruments many years ago when they were in Plymouth. They had a unit in Plymouth. I can't remember what she did there. She did something to do with electronics. Whether she was assembling something, I don't know. I can remember her working for Texas Instruments. And I'm putting that bit in because I am a fussy git. I am a fuss ass, I really am. But you know. Oh, hello! Oh, live eruptions from the tape basket. Flipping heck. I really have got to get myself sorted. I've got the feelers out for an industrial unit, so I've got to put the feelers out. A mate of mine has got some units. He's got one potentially coming up soon, which I'm going to have to go and have a look at. But the channel could be moving to new grounds, people. You never know. You never know what's going to happen on this channel. Right, that's our tuning cap back in nicely now. What else did we have to do to this radio? We mentioned about doing an IF alignment. Oh, we got those little tiny hollow. Let me have a little look in there. Little tiny hollow cores in there. That's a plastic topped one, so that was not too bad. I think this is the oscillator. Then this is the IF here, I believe. Got a diode there. That's probably the AM detector. Then we got our audio stage down through there. Let's have a look at what it says about IF alignment then a minute, shall we? Let's have a little look. Military radios. There's a lot of following of military radios. To be fair, Benji, it is performing pretty good compared to a lot that I've had in here. Your Alexa obliterates AM in your workshop, Benji. I mustn't keep saying Alexa because it fires up everybody's Alexa. Boat anchors. I'm just trying. What's going on here? I've obviously missed out. I've been messing about, and I've missed out all the chat here. R390/2. Is that the Collins ones? Is it, or I don't know. R350 RS. Yeah, Tom sent me some pictures. In fact, Tom, you sent me some pictures the other day of some radios. Apologies, I haven't replied yet, but some nice radios there. Thank you, Paul. Thank you for the tip, Paul. Much appreciated, mate. The plastic pegs have never fallen out yet, Aaron. Yeah, mine have. Let's say they're here. Depends how much you use it, really, isn't it? But yeah, I've had to modify it, Aaron. Designed chips. I don't think she designed them. I think she was more in the assembly side of it, Nick. That was. Did you hear that exploding tape that jumped down off the bench? That was my 3M double-sided tape that decided to erupt off of the top where I got the Kapton tape from. Hey, battery maker, how you doing, Bill? You'd be reading from that. The ball bearings on the tuning caps react like a reducing gearbox. Oh, okay. Well, there you go. I've caught up. Right, what was I going to do? Alignment. Let's have a look. Is it easy? I've got to get an arm and a leg out to align the thing. Let's have a look. Okay. AM signal generator, output parameter, test coil, oscilloscope, AF generator. We don't need all of that. I'm not going to mess with the audio side of it because it sounds fine. So that's basically sorting the output for clipping. Just RV1. All IF and RF to be made with signal modulated 30% at 1 kHz. Progressively reduced signal. IF alignment. Here we go. So, set generator to 470 kilocycles per second. Right, let's just set that to 0.470 megahertz. Yes, yes, yes. We don't want 100 millivolts. We want, say, 10 millivolts. Connect a 0.1 capacitor to the base winding of the mixer transistor. The base winding to the base winding of the mixer transistor. The base winding of the... What the hell do they mean by that? Why can't they just say connect it to the base? A base winding of the mixer transistor. The winding. This hasn't got a winding. What are they banging on about? What's the matter with them? What's the matter with them? Okay. Alignment data. Doesn't tell you any connection data, does it? A mixer transistor. So it's got to be to the base, hasn't it? Not the base winding. So that's got to be TX1, hasn't it? It's got to be the... Got to be it. TX1's got to be... It's the base of the oscillator then. Right, let's find the can I join something to it? I've got to take a bloody board out again, have I? Oh, I could connect that. Maybe that's why they've left it as a bare wire, perhaps. Oh. Strange. I can't understand why they seem to connect it to the base of the mixer transistor. I'd have thought you'd have connected it to the base of the IF transistor, but whatever they feel like, really. Whatever they fancy. Does that connect to anything else? It connects to C3 at the top here. So you could connect it to that one. No, it's the other side. Okay. Right, point 1. Is that 10 or 100? I always get this confused. 10 or 100? 100. 100 NF cap. Seems a bit strange, doesn't it? Ah, Mrs. Radiocruncher, how you doing? About time you got a skip in. No, no. Shh. Stop. We can't talk about her anymore. She's here. Shh. Mustn't talk about her anymore. Did you see the minis, Mrs. Radiocruncher? Let's see if I can just solder that one in a minute. Right, we have a connection. We just need to make sure that doesn't short out on anything. Let's snip that other leg off. The boss is in. I've got to be good now. Right, that's our connection. Now we need... Good to see Mrs. Radiocruncher in. She hasn't been in for a while, huh? Okay, so just connect that into there then. Do I need to connect this to ground, or but ground is positive? Ooh, I don't know here. I might just leave it like that and see what happens. Let's connect her up then. See what goes on. See if he go bang. He go bang. She bangs. Oh, they want me to do that, so don't do. I did a great turnout. Think of taking part? Yeah, I think you ought to. I think you ought to. Definitely. Who thinks Mrs. Cruncher ought to take part in the mini rally next year? I think she should. So Mrs. Cruncher's got a very nice mini coupe, which she's called Rocky. Right. Let's connect her up. See what happens. Actually, let's just make sure my signal generator is set up properly. 30% AM, 1 kilohertz tone, all good. We've got to have it in the AM position, in the medium wave position. So look, where's my sheet of alignment stuff? Bet your life that's the only sheet that never printed out, can't you? Circuit description. Okay. Set switch to shortwave. Set going to maximum capacity. Is that fully meshed or fully open? Maximum capacity, I think that's fully meshed, isn't it? Just wonder what I've got to connect. We can hear it there, it's quite weak. Yeah, Mrs. Cruncher's Mini is called Rocky. Afternoon, Harvey. It was loud. Sorry if that made you jump, everybody. Fully meshed. I thought it was. So that is fully meshed. I can hear the tone, which is good news, but it's not great. Trim for maximum gain by adjusting coils in the following order. L13, L5 and L6 in that order. Right, let's get the trimming tools. Let's get the trimming tools out. It seems to have gone dark in here for some reason. I don't know why. Don't collapse. Please don't fall down and collapse. Wow, that was lucky. Now, I mean, I could connect this to a scope. I could connect it to an output meter, but should I connect it up to the scope? How easy is that to connect to the scope? Not easy. Let's go into the headphone socket, but we don't want to mess with that. We can do it by ear. What sort of size is that one? That's miniature. Let's make that a bit bigger. That's about it. Then we've got to adjust L6 and then 5, so we've got to adjust the bottom one first. which was peaked in 05. Maybe got a little bit out of 05. A little bit out of 05, and that's it then. That's it. Let's go down. Still hear it there. Yeah, it's disappearing about 300 microvolts. Interesting. Interesting. Has that made any difference? I don't think so. It was pretty much peaked. I mean, I've not oddly tweaked that at all, to be fair. Let's see if that's made any difference then. It's made it deaf as a post now, that. Made it deaf as a post. It was working, it's not now. Oh dear. Always the same, isn't it? Always the same. What have we done? We haven't done nothing. Just wired onto there. That's not gonna, unless it's killed the transistor, but I don't think so. I didn't touch those hardly at all. Let's try it again. Yeah, I know FM. It's dead now. I had to break this order in order to save it. I really can't understand that. I mean, still there, exactly the same. I mean, that's a really low signal. It's still picking it up. And that's 400 microvolts. It's pretty good. One millivolt. Oh, not fully matched. Okay. Let's try that again, fully matched. It's there, isn't it? Well, see, if you do it on medium wave, it's really loud. A long wave, medium wave. You'd think you would tune it on that, wouldn't you? I can hear that down to 50 microvolts. You can still hear that. So it's much more sensitive on, in fact, it's more sensitive on long wave than it is on medium wave. How are we doing for time anyway? Let's have a look at the time. How are we doing? 5 o'clock. Right, okay. You didn't. There was no finger going in today, Dids. There was no finger. Fix it till it's broken. So, I mean, that's 90 microvolts there on medium wave, and that's working fine. Maybe we need to look at the RF alignment then, so let's do that. Collect signal generators test coil positioned coaxially with center 5 inches from medium wave end of ferrite rod. Does sound very capacitor issue-y. Right, let's get our coil. Coil! Specially made coil. I've just built this now. That's what I prepared earlier. This works fine, to be fair. I would like a nice proper fixed one, but you know, can't always have what you want, can you? Coaxially. 5 inches from the medium wave end of the ferrite rod, so that's about here. Back here. I've got to wear it around my neck, basically. So I could put it there, that way, or probably better to put it that way. Sort of have it there, maybe. I don't know. This is where you need a proper one, really, isn't it? I'll have to make a proper one when I put this in a tube. I have got some copper tube that I did buy for the purpose, but I haven't got round to it yet. You know what it's like. You know what it's like. So it's got to be around about there. Stick. So everything's falling off again. Stick a pair of pliers on that just to hold it in place for now. That'll do. That'll do, I reckon. That's more than 5 inches. That's about 5. Then what have we got to do? That's fallen on there, isn't it? Right. 540 kilocycles. Alright, let's go with 10. Microvolts. Stick it back up there. What are we doing? Gang position 180 degrees. Maximum capacitance. So that's fully meshed, isn't it? Maximum capacitance is fully meshed, isn't it? I can't hear a dicky bird. Diddly squat. It's almost like the RF's died on it. It has. I can see why. Oh no, Graham! You're a nightmare. One of the wires is off. In fact, no, both of them are off because... Oh, no. Oh. It's a double goat situation. It's a double goat situation. I didn't connect the wires back again after I put that plastic cover on, did I? Nobody said. God. Who's it normally saves the day? Somebody normally tells me. It's usually Derek, I think, isn't it? Where's Derek when you need him? Derek! You're going to need to buck your ideas up, Derek. Oh, dear. It's normally Derek that I've done it. Oh, my God. So I've gone and aligned that without any aerial connectors. So it must be amazing. It's got to be the best alignment ever. There's me going to do the RF alignment when I haven't even connected the tuning cap. How crazy is that? Crazy boy. Right, okay. Shall we try the IF alignment again? Shall we try it again? Shall we try it again? That was a bit deaf. Yeah, because you ain't got the tuning cap connected, Graham, you fool. Right. Okay. Right. You can tune the IF with a weak station, so you can hear we are working again now. Let's double check that.
For a new life in Daily Hall. Population 2,000.
This is a really weak station there, that. It's peaked anyway, so. Oh dear. Right, okay. Let's just have a look at the RF alignment then. That would explain why it wouldn't working very well, wouldn't it? Really, Graham? You fool. Right, let's go back to how we were. Let's go back to the RF alignment then, shall we? That was funny, Gavin, was it? Which one is... well, either of you, Derek. Because either you or Derek Cooper. You ADHD. It is again, Bob. I know. Twice. God, I've got to pay more attention to mine. What's the matter with you? So, point. Frequency. Point. It's no wonder it wouldn't pick it up, isn't it? Because it was no tuning cap. So let's increase the amplitude a bit. So there we are, around about 5 inches away. I can hear it. It says oscillator coil L9. I've got to adjust now. L9. Can't really see this, can you? It's got to be sort of side on to it, really. No, not leaning on like that. Naughty coil. No! Stop it. Oh, you are. You can't really. I was trying to get it round that way so you could see it, but I'm struggling a little bit because it's my tuny coily thingy doesn't like it. Don't like it. It's got to be over that way somewhere. Perhaps I'll stick the beer can on it. Get off! The goat's attacking. The goat's attacking the beer. No! Stop it! Right, let's put it that way up. Over about there. Okay, that's good enough. That's probably a bit more than 5 inches away. Let's just hook that over there. Right, that's about it. So it says to adjust coil L9. Which is that one there. So where's my little trimmer? That's better, isn't it? That's done. Now we've got a 1.6 megs. What we've got to do now, the other way around. We've got to adjust the oscillator trimmer T5, which is the third one in there. So let's adjust that one. Doesn't like the metallic tool. That's bouncing off the floor, that is. Better. Nice. Now what we've got to do. 600. I think we've got a tune to 600 with that. So I believe we've got a tune to 600. And we've got a tune to the signal, I believe. This is where you want so this basically we've got to move this coil along somehow. Let's go a bit lower. So you can barely hear it now. See if I can move the thing. He ain't budging. It's got some wax on it. Getting worse. No, worse. Come on, move. That's best. So now wants us to put it in band spread. $15.30. 1.53 megahertz. Minimum capacity. Okay, that's not got any reception. Let's go a bit higher. Can't hear that at all. Should be able to hear that. So we need to adjust the band spread trimmer, which is T2. T5, where's T2? T2? T2, it says that's the medium wave AE trimmer. Well, it's not, is it? It's the second one there. This one. Can't get that. Oh, hang on. Can't hear a dicky bird on that. I don't expect it's been used in band spread for many years. Let's put some up it. Oh, okay. Well, I can hear it now. I'll put 10 millivolts though. Let's put that down. Okay, it's not made a lot of difference. Oh, hang on, have I just done the wrong one? T4. Ah, damn. Done the wrong one. Oh, no. Okay. Right. So let's try again. So 4.43 megahertz, because I haven't done the T2 trimmer. Okay. Cool. Right, let's try that again. Alright, well. Okay. Right, let's try band spread again. Right. Band spread. Maximum capacitance. Minimum capacitance. Oh, I don't know. But minimum capacitance. Trimmer T4. 1530. Okay, we can hear it. It's weak. T4 this time, the right one. Let's do the right one. Second one in. It's this one. Oh, this one's not moving it. That was way out, that one. Right there. Then we want 1430. Sounds like a load of squirrels running around in there, doesn't it? T1. That was already peaked. Okay. That's enough of that noise. Long wave. It says just long wave aerial coil. Is that the only thing? 225 megahertz. We're over the wrong side really for that. I need to be over this side really. Is that it? Well, this is moving the aerial coil again, which is well and truly waxed in. I'll catch up with the chat in a minute, people. Apologies. Rob's been deleted again. More caps. More caps for Mr. Rob Cross. Loves the caps, then he gets too excited, I think. Too excitable. That ain't gonna budge. No, that one will not move. Well, the whole thing's moving, but not the... No. Okay. So shortwave then's the last one. 180 degrees, that's fully meshed. And we've got to feed in 5.8 megs. Megahertz, let's go 10 microvolts. Okay, cracking up here. Right, why can't I hear that? Well, I must have to be connected to the aerial now, surely. Is it just picking up from this? Because there's no coil for shortwave, is there? I just have to sort of wrap this around that, I think. It does say fully meshed. Should be there. So you've got to adjust oscillator coil L12, which is this top one. Definitely 5.8 megs. Shortwave, 180 degrees, maximum capacitance, oscillator coil L12, 5.8 megahertz. Definitely. Let's go bigger amplitude than 100 microvolts. It's way out. It's way out, according to that. Where are you? Sometimes he's a double humped though. Let's just pull it all the way out just to see if there's another peak anywhere. No. There he is. It's not great coupling into it, but it is working. Then set it to minimum. Minimum capacitance and feed in 16 megs. Where's that? It's nowhere near. Right back there. Okay. So where are we going now? Adjust oscillator trimmer T6. It's the third one along. This one. There he is. He's bloody finicky, that one. That is finicky. Got a sort of double hump, this one. There he is. Whew. Now I've got to put in 15 megs. 15 megs. Tune to it. Oh, that's what I was doing. And this is something weird with this. It's definitely T3. Oh, hang on. T3 is that one. Hang on. We've got the wrong one here again. Shortwave oscillator coil. Auto oscillator trimmer. T6 we've done, so we've got to go to about 6 megs and do aerial core L3. Okay. Right. So it's really confusing. 6 megs. So we've got to tune the aerial coil, which is this little thing in here, I believe. This. If I can find the core. That's about it there, right, okay. So then 15 megahertz, tune to 15, and adjust shortwave aerial trimmer, which is this one here. Right. That says to go back and check the 6 megs. Let's put the amplitudes, turn the volume up a bit. Go right down on there, see if we can improve this a bit. Makes no difference. I think it's just dropped down the back. It's just dropped out. It's not making any difference at all, that aerial coil. Absolutely no difference whatsoever. That doesn't seem to be anyway. For maximum gain at lower tuning positions of core. Sounds better there, actually. Right, let's get rid of that. Let's see see if we've done anything, and I'll catch up with the chat. Have we killed it totally? Let's try to hook a shortwave aerial up again a minute.
Forward and lift those restrictions entirely, that would also
Working well on shortwave now. I'll catch up with the chat in a minute, I promise.
gambling on both sides.
It's picking up a lot more on shortwave than it did.
Should NATO kind of lift all restrictions on everything and open?
I didn't get that before.
That would be basically an expression of escalation in terms of how Russia views this and in terms of what kind of
The US made high-Mars rocket systems to destroy the pontoon bridges and engineering equipment in Kursk. Does that kind of blur the lines regarding the use of Western weapons in Russian territory? And do you think this will force a reassessment of the deadlines set by the US and NATO?
That is pretty good.
Western country limits restriction of
Yeah, lots. Put something over this side.
and look at the incursion and the kind of
Sounds like sideband.
look incursion for quite some time, and then you're right that.
Wow. Working well. Long wave.
One that never fought a guitar. I was no longer baby-minded from Craig's Holland Steve. I was just baby-minded.
Did you have this thing hanging over you?
Well, there you are. It's done. Well, that's really confusing. It confused me. It's not actually confusing. I just get easily confused, don't I? It's working. Strange. It seems really dark on the bench for some reason, but there you are. Right, let me catch up with the chat then. See what we've been saying beyond my back here. Cheers, FM. Sorry, mate, missed you. Mushrooms. Rotisserie chicken now. What going on about? Rob's doing the caps again. Yorkshire Purd. Aaron's changed his font to fancy, like Harvey. Now I can't see who's who. No King's Speech for you then, Bob. Right, what's going on? Nice glass of port. Now you're talking. We're on a food thing, so you were just leaving me, weren't you? You just left me and went talking about food while I was fiddling about the radio. Shortwave is very good, Gavin, isn't it? Now, it's certainly better than it was before. I could barely pick up anything, and whether it's just because it's got later, I don't know, but it's not got any darker. Yeah, it is, isn't it? It is. So there you are. I've got to take off that little cap, as someone pointed out. I shouldn't have thought it affected. It would affect it a little bit, maybe, but then saying that the cap is isolating it from anything, isn't it? But it did affect it when I touched it. But certainly performing very well now. Tuning cap sorted. We remove the shorts from that transistor. Caps appear to be okay, so it's good to go. Just needs a clean up and another push button, and it's good to go. So if anyone else got a spare push button they think might fit that, then you'll have to let me know. I need to glue that little bit of wood in the corner. Find another little piece to glue in this corner, and then I can button it up. I'm probably going to need to take this off to clean it, but these are always really scary to get off because they usually break. This one doesn't look like it's going to be any different than any others I've done. No, that ain't coming off. That ain't coming off in a hurry. So I think we'll leave that be. Received a Korean station. Nah, not at all, Rolf. No deviating. It is surprising in the night time, if you're into shortwave listening and you tune in of a night time, it really is. You need to be going to bed like you need to be going to bed in the early hours of the morning and lying in really till midday if you're into shortwave listening. Dancing was in Mongolian. The old Bush battery powered radio. Yeah, it's actually quite small. They are pretty small. Is that one going to? Yeah, that one's going to come off. Yeah, so it's not very big. Where's a ruler? Let's turn that off. So in new money, it is around about 15 mil. 15 mil long. And what's it in millimeters that way? It's probably 6.5 mil that way. So it's probably imperial, isn't it? Is it 1/4 inch? Yes, it's imperial. So it's quarter inch by the looks of it. Is that quarter? That's a half. It's a half inch. No, it's not quarter, is it? I don't know. I'd never really worked in inches. No. We go back to millimeters, and I'll say it's 6.5 mil that way, and height is about 11 mil. So if you think it is 15 by 6.5 by 11. So there you go. 15 by 6.5 by 11. In fact, if I draw it on a bit of paper, then you can rewind the video if anyone's got anything that looks like it that they want to sell or swap. There's a pen. Where's a Sharpie? There's a Sharpie. So what did I say it was? 15, 11, and then 6.5. There. How about that? Let's zoom in. Zoom into my little picture. 15 across, 11 high, and 6.5 wide. Not to scale, obviously. There you go. Could I print an acceptable copy? Yes, I could. If I got my 3D printer set up and I could draw it in the software. End of the day, it's got like a piece of aluminium inset in the top, so you'd have to sort of recess it. Let's see if we can get a focus. So you'd have to recess it, and in underneath it's fairly simple. It's a couple sort of like little bumps with a groove in. So it's almost like two corners, but with the corner cut off and a groove cut in. So if you imagine that was two triangles. So there you are. Anyone else got one of those, then that would be appreciated, but if not, don't worry. I can have a go one day at printing it when I get round to it. So I'm going to go down and join Mrs. Cruncher now, and I think we're going to have a bit of a film night because we've got a day off tomorrow. I think we're having chicken on the barbecue and a film night. How about that? So thanks again for the super chats today and for all your tips. Much appreciated. Thanks for joining me, and to my Patreons and channel members. I'm going to start sort of trying to put a bit more out on there now. I've put some pictures out there today for you, so hopefully that went down okay. And I'll catch you next week, if not before.